Hi everyone, and welcome to Sustain Life Journal Yoga. Today we'll be flowing through a Hatha yoga and meditation class focused on expansion and contraction, and ultimately finding our balance. You can go ahead and get started in Balasana pose, with your feet together, knees out wide, forehead gently resting on your mat, and your hands spread out in front of you. If it feels more comfortable in your body, you can rest your cheek on your hands, creating a small pillow with your hands. We'll begin to take deep inhales and exhales through our nose as we prepare for today's mindful practice. You can gently begin to press up on your hands and knees, and then allow your hips to come onto your heels. You can bring your hands to the tops of your knees, or one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, or maybe even both hands to your heart. Take a deep inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can return to your natural breathing pattern. And we'll allow our right hand to come to our side, lifting your left hand up over your head, really reaching over to your right side, feeling the stretch in our left side body. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, we'll lift our hands back up over our head, and then allow your left hand to come onto the earth, really reaching through your right fingertips. Inhale, lifting your hands up over your head, and then on your exhale, you can interlace your hands behind your back, really opening up your chest, feeling the stretch on your neck, maybe even dipping your upper body forward, allowing your forehead to come down towards the earth, just finding what feels good in your body. And really tuning into that. All of the poses in today's class are optional. I'm just your guide, but it's most important that you're listening to how you feel. When you're ready, you can begin to press up into a tabletop position, stacking shoulders over wrists, and then extend your right foot back behind you, keeping our toes on the floor, and then taking gentle shifts forward and back, just stretching out our leg and balancing on our hands. On your next exhale, you can begin to lift your foot, bending at your knee, and we'll gently look up. Then on our exhale, we'll draw our knee in towards our nose. Lift your foot and your chin up towards the sky, and then draw them together, contracting. Expand, lift your right foot up towards the sky. Contract, knee to nose. Expand, extending our foot down onto the mat, and then rotating the knife edge of our foot and opening up, lifting our right hand up towards the sky, pressing firmly into your left hand, feeling the stretch on our body, and then gently lifting your right foot parallel to your hip. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and then on your exhale, you can return your hand and knee back down onto the earth, and we'll move over onto the other side. So extending your left foot back behind you and then rocking forward and back. We want to keep our shoulders basically over our wrists and our hips over our knees. That should be the general placement. But tune into how you feel. So continuing to rock forward and back, just stretching everything out, keeping your attention on your breath. And then begin to lift your left heel, bending at your knee, reaching your foot up and chin up towards the sky, and then contracting, drawing everything in, knee to nose. Expand, looking up gently, and contract, knee to nose. Finding your own rhythm through these two poses. The next time you make your way to a contraction, you can allow your left foot to come back behind you, spiraling it down onto the mat, and then lifting your left hand up towards the sky, planting firmly in your right hand, reaching through your fingertips. And if you'd like, you can begin to lift your left foot parallel to your hip, really just feeling that expansion through our chest, all the way down through our toes, keeping our belly button tucked in to hold ourselves up. And then when you're ready, you can return your hand and knee back down onto the mat. We'll begin to flow through a bit of Vityalasana and Marjalasana. So we begin to draw our belly button in, chin to chest, pressing into our hands. And then on our exhale, letting our belly fall down towards the earth, lifting your chin up towards the sky. Inhale, arching your back like a cat, really pressing into your hands. And exhale, release. And you can begin to find your own rhythm based on your breath or just what feels right for you in this present moment. Maybe adding in some organic movements, shifting side to side, forward and back. Just take a few minutes to tune into you. Begin to tuck your toes, and we'll move into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So allowing our heels to come towards the earth, pressing into our hands and lifting our hips. Maybe bending one knee, then the other. Just warming up our body, allowing our chest to come toward our knees. And then eventually finding a place of stillness. In our Hatha yoga classes, we tend to hold the poses a little bit longer than other classes, but just trust the strength in your body, and if you ever need a break, please feel free to do so. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and on your exhale, you can lift your right foot up behind you. Then begin to bend your knee, drawing your knee in towards your chest. And exhale, push your foot back up towards the sky. Inhale, drawing your knee towards your nose, and exhale, pushing your foot back up. Inhale, drawing your knee towards your nose, and then stepping it in between your hands and lifting up into Anjaneyasana. You can come onto your toes with your left foot, really reaching up through your fingertips, not allowing your right knee to go over your toes. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and then on your exhale, you can shift forward a bit, allowing your hands to come up behind you. So we'll be flying over our right knee. And then when you're ready, you can allow your hands to come down onto the earth. Gently lift your left foot up behind you. And then we'll slowly allow our left foot to come meet our right foot. And then lifting it back up. Then lowering it back down. And lifting it back up. Lowering it down. Lifting it back up. And then eventually lowering both feet to meet at the front of our mat in Uttanasana, our forward fold. You can begin to sway side to side, maybe grabbing opposite hands to opposite elbows, tucking your chin in, taking a generous bend in your knees, and just resting here for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise your hands up over your head, Tadasana, and on your exhale, allow your hands to come to your lower back and gently tip your head back, just opening up your chest, going to where it feels good for you. On your next exhale, you can fold forward, plant your hands on the mat, stepping back into plank pose, and then shifting your hips back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Begin to lift your left foot up behind you. Then bend your knee, drawing your knee in towards your chest, and then pushing it back up towards the sky. Bending your knee, drawing knee to nose, pushing it back up towards the sky. One more time, knee to nose. And then allowing your foot to come in between your hands, pressing firmly into your feet, and then reaching your hands up over your head on Anjaneyasana. Planting firmly in your left foot, allowing your back heel to move away from the mat and reaching up through your fingertips. Return your attention to your breath if your mind has began to wander. Slowly allow your chest and hands to fall towards the earth, just hovering over your left knee, drawing your belly button in. And then we'll begin to allow our hands to come down onto the earth, lifting our right leg up behind you. Then slowly allowing your right foot to come to the earth, and then lifting it back up. Contracting, bringing your foot to the earth, and expanding foot to sky. Moving through these movements, and then eventually making your way to Uttanasana, forward fold, and then find your gentle sway. You can have a generous bend in your knees. Begin to deepen the bend in your knees so your hands can reach the mat, and then step back into plank pose. When you're ready, you can shift your hips back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a deep inhale through your nose, lifting your right foot up towards the sky. Draw your right leg in towards your body as we set up into our pigeon pose, bringing your right shin parallel to the front of your mat, pressing into your hands, really expanding, opening up your chest. Resting here for one more breath. And then when you're ready, you can begin to fold into yourself, maybe coming down onto your elbows or onto your hands, and allowing your body to surrender into this pose. Gently begin to press up onto your hands, lifting your hips and shifting back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then begin to lift your left foot up behind you, bending your knee, drawing your knee in, and then allowing your shin to meet the front of the mat, staying pressed up on your hands. Again, just stretching out our front body. Taking a few breaths here, and then beginning to fall forward onto our elbows or hands, or even staying lifted if that feels good in your body. And just a gentle reminder that these poses can feel different on each side of our body, so be gentle with yourself and just tune in to how you're feeling in this present moment. Begin to press up on your hands, lifting your hips back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. There's no rush, take your time. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. And then in your own time, begin to walk your feet up to meet your hands. And then slowly lower your hips onto the mat. Keep going down all the way onto your back. You can draw your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a really big hug. Contracting, squeezing everything in, maybe squeezing your hands and toes. And when you're ready, you can expand into your Shavasana pose. So allowing your feet to come to the bottom of your mat, your hands to be wide open, just expanding and preparing for this beautiful moment of presence, of surrender, and of meditation. The quote that I wanted to share with you today is, "Life is a balance between what we can control and what we can't. You must learn to live comfortably between effort and surrender." Which I think goes very well with our yoga practice, how we're pushing ourselves, but we're also being gentle with ourselves. We're contracting, we're expanding, but we're finding balance in between our physical poses, the mental spaces that we enter when we become present to what's going on in each moment that arises. So to continue this practice, we will lay or sit in meditation, really any physical posture that feels good and restful to you. Just keep your attention on your inhales and exhales. You can tune into your breath, to the music. and I'll let you know when the meditation is complete. Begin to make small movements with your fingers and toes, maybe shifting your head side to side, and just reawakening your body and mind to re-enter back into your day, hopefully with a little bit more presence, hopefully feeling a little bit more balanced and ready to take on the day. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to take good care of yourself, and specifically for choosing to flow with Sustain Life Journal Yoga today. If you would like to learn more about sustainable living and yoga lifestyle tips, you can check out sustainlifejournal.com and join our newsletter, and we'll send you lots of good information. If you want to have yoga as a regular, consistent practice, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. That way, you always have yoga videos on your feed. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your day. Take really good care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.